Hello, hello, hello. At this point, I literally have to come on here and like go live before I get a chance to change my mind and fail. So we're here. We're here. Um, Praise God. Let's get moving. I'm also about to start something silly. I'm about to start the Python learning path on this as well, because in as much as JavaScript I have some knowledge of and I'm making progress, we're going to start using Python at work, um, and I want to get a head start on it. So I'm about to start the Python learning as well. I don't think I'll be streaming that because I'll probably be doing that in longer spurts. Well, in probably less frequent spurts, but in longer sessions. Whereas this is every single day. I'm gonna get it done. As we're getting it done today. So let's go. Um, this was yesterday, and yesterday we just did the compound assignment, which was fine. I think I didn't save 76 because yeah, this is the inner text one. Oh, okay, it did save. Yeah, cool. And yesterday's lesson was literally that capitalization can do your head in. For some reason, I didn't recognize that inner text is a capital T. And when my code was failing, I just could not get why it was failing. But alas, we're here. We're here now, which is which I'm grateful for. I'm just trying to check because I have a very bad feeling that I didn't do day nine, which doesn't make sense to me because I did do day nine and I can't see day nine now. Oh, maybe I've not added it to the playlist though. Yes, I did do day nine. It's just not in the playlist. Let's save it to the playlist. Cool. All right, a little bit of admin done. Let's go to the next challenge. So now we're going to start looking at conditionals. So what if the player doesn't have enough gold to buy health? When you want to run code conditionally, use the if statement. Put all of the code in your buy health function inside of an if statement, for example. Okay, cool. So if statements are if just that a way to control the flow of the code, and we set a condition and say if this is true then do that. You can have multiple options, so if this is then not true then do X, and if that's not true then do Y, or else if it's anything else then do everything else, or you can just terminate the condition. So they're asking us to wrap all of this good stuff in a condition, and the syntax is as shown there. So if I say if, and they want us to put a placeholder of condition therein, then we want to do all of that. Close that off. And I'm going to go ahead and indent this a little bit just to show that all of this is then within the within the if statement. I also will likely probably put here that if gold is less than, so I'll try to say if gold is greater than or equal to 10, then you can do this, and I'll have an else there. That would be probably like a message or pop up or something to say you don't have enough money, you're broke, so you can't buy it. But let's go with this first. Cool. Yeah. So the condition string is just a placeholder. We want to check if gold is greater than or equal to 10. We're using that compound assignment here to say greater than or equal to. Actually, this might not be a compound assignment. This is just an operator. Yeah, because this isn't like a plus b would be equal to c. Therefore, a plus a is equal to c. So a plus plus whatever. The compound assignment was, this is slightly different. I think this is an actual condition. So I want to say if gold is greater than or equal to 10, then our guy can afford to buy some gold. If it's not, then we're going to introduce an else. I will try else, do something else. So else, we want to set text inner text to you do not have enough gold. Cool. So we can access text from here, and that becomes a matter of scope, right? So scope is effectively what can be seen from where. So because we've got text all the way up here, essentially outside of everything within the script, and when I say outside of everything, that'll become apparent in a second. We can see, so text is out here, defined out here. We can then thus see text from within this function. But say we defined a new variable in the function called, I don't know, medicine, then that variable would only exist within this function, and the scope of the variable would be within this function. And so then if we were to, within up the locations, try to get medicine, because that's sort of closed, it's restricted to within this function, we wouldn't be able to see it from there. So that's just scope. So text in dot inner text, I should be able to see from here. So if its code is not greater than or equal to 10, then we want to do this. Yeah, you broke, son. Okay, so we're creating the weapons. All right. All right, so our weapons array will hold 4 objects, each with a name and a power. The first should have the name set to stick and power 5, dagger 30. Okay, so you already know what we're about to do, eh? So let's make our object. So I'm gonna make like an object template, as it were, because I know that these will be the same for all of it. So name, string, and power will be a number. So I'm just going to do that and that and call it a day. Well, not call it a day, but you know. So that's our object. We need 4 of these. So I'm going to do that. That last one doesn't need a comma. And, sorry, what's the name of it? So first one is stick. Power is 5. Next one is dagger. Power is, oh no, next one is, dagger, and power is stick is 5, 30. Next one is claw hammer. That one was 50. Last one was sword. And that one was 100. I think. Yep. I am watching out for capitalization as well. But yeah, alas, this is our array of objects. Inside your buy weapon function, add an if statement to check if gold is greater than or equal to 30. Okay. So in here, I'm going to say if gold is greater than or equal to 30, then excuse me. So I'm just checking at present, just checking. So your buy health, set gold equal to 30 less than this. Okay. So if it is, then gold minus equals to 30. And that's the compound assignment, where it would have otherwise been gold is equal to gold minus 30. But we can make that shorter by using a compound assignment. The value of the current weapon variable corresponds to an index in the weapons array. Okay. Okay. So interesting. The value of the current weapon corresponds to an index in the weapons array. So the player starts with a stick. And since the current weapon starts with 0, excuse me, weapon 0 is the stick. So there's some design here, there's some thinking here that's obviously gone into it to relate the weapons in the array to the the order that they're in, to use that to determine each variable to determine each weapon, which is interesting. It would be nice to sort of pick that up or have some information about how they are doing that. But yeah, cool. So the value of the current weapon variable corresponds to an index in the weapons array. The player starts with a stick since current weapon starts with 0 and weapon 0 is a stick. In the buy weapon function, use compound assignment to add 1 to the current weapon the user is buying the next weapon in the weapons array. Okay. So, where is current weapon? Current weapon is 0. Okay. So, excuse me. If they buy the weapon with gold, then current weapon plus plus. I was hoping I could do that. And I very well might be able to. Okay. So what they really want is +1. Plus plus should have worked. I'd argue plus plus should have worked there. What they want is +1. And you gotta do what they want. So I will not die on that hill. Increasing the value by 1 has a special operator in JavaScript. Check this out. Oh, was that my mistake then? Is it that I can't do space plus plus? Oh, sorry. Okay, I can. Yeah. All right. So I was a bit ahead of the curve. So plus plus does work, which is nice to know. I feel validated. So in updating the gold text element, and so real life situation here again. Real life people. Cool. Now update the gold text element to display the new value of gold, and update the text element to display you now have a new weapon. So new value of gold. So I'll copy this because I don't have that again. I should tell the player what weapon they bought. In between the two lines you just wrote, use let to initialize a new variable called new weapon and set this to equal weapons. Interesting. So we're creating a new variable here, and this is where I started talking about scope. So this new variable, new weapon, if I try and do anything with it, in, for instance, to buy health or in any other function, it will struggle because it won't be able to reach that new variable because this new variable scope is limited to the buy weapon function. So this is what I meant. This is cool. Yeah. Cool. So this is what I meant about the thinking that had gone behind it, to have the weapons correspond to their um, their index in the weapons array. Obviously took some design, took some thought, and hopefully we start learning those things like, I guess, well, later. But this is quite useful to see. So yeah, cool. Use bracket notation to access an object within the weapons array and assign it to your new weapon variable. Place the variable current weapon within the brackets. When you use a variable in bracket notation, you are accessing the property or index by the value of that variable. Okay, yeah. So that's what they're demonstrating here. As you get to array index. Now the current weapon is our index, as it were. So So all they're saying here is, so we use bracket notation to get the value of current weapon, which we have just changed here, having bought a new weapon. But we're using that to determine the index of the weapons. And then we're going to sort of drill down with a dot notation into, okay, so if current weapon at this point is 1, that's weapons 1, that's the first element of the weapons array. And we're then saying, so that's this object here. We're drilling down into that, and we're saying, go give me the name of the first element of the weapons array, and assign that to new weapon. And I'm guessing we're going to do some string manipulation to get new weapon into the text. Yeah, there you go. So string manipulation. We're going to insert the variable into the string with the concatenation operator, which is to then say you can have like a standard bit of text and want to add in like something that will be a variable. You don't necessarily want to add in, so we want to add in new weapon. We want to add in the value of new weapon, and we can then do that by using concatenation and sticking it in there. So update there. You now have a new weapon to sing. You now have a new weapon. Yeah, this has been designed quite well. And the name of the new weapon. We're going to end the sentence with a period. Cool. Alright, so you now have I'm going to be cheeky and do this. I'm going to be cheeky and do this. And then I'm going to be even cheekier and do this. Yeah. So this is effectively what we've done. Oh. That should be okay. That should work. And this. That doesn't seem right. Oh, there's a space there. There's a space there. Fam, these guys are strict. Which I guess makes sense because you don't want it to be, you want it to still read like a normal sentence, even though you're dynamically populating what weapon it is. So, okay. Yeah, when that starts happening, I know I need to head off. So I'm actually gonna finish this one. Come on now. Back at the beginning of this project, we created the inventory, add the new weapon to the end of the inventory array using the push method. Alright, so now we're doing some array sort of data control, and we're going to push something to an array. So we have our inventory array here, which the first one is stick. I'm gonna push will stick something to the end of that. So having told the guy that we now have that, we want to say what's inventory? Inventory dot push, pass in new weapon. No weapon. New weapon. Into it. And that should then add it. Cool. Alright. I'm gonna call it there. I should just test it, shouldn't I? Now dagger. And I bet. So dagger's now been added to the inventory. That's cool. That's quite cool. Alright. Thank you for watching this whenever you do. And yeah. Peace.